Hey guys, well, I am already in my 30s and it's the winter blues, and I'm still thinking, would I do the same thing that I'm doing now when I was 20, or am I too late for it? I mean, let's talk about it. Hey, Natasha here. Welcome to my wonderful podcast, C'est la vie. First of all, thank you so much that you guys take your time tuning in. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. By the way, a new bonus track is out on one of my beautiful podcasts. Either you tune in Spotify, or that you tune in through Apple, or that you tune in through BuzzFeed. No matter where you hear this wonderful podcast, first of all, I thank you for it, and second of all, check the bonus content. Subscribe, and enjoy the bonus content. It's very interesting. It's very funny. I am back. Yeah, basically, that's the thing. So the topic of today is things that I would do in my 20s, but not do it in my 30s. When you turn 30, I don't know if it's me or it's in general, your body change. There are things that you don't see very that easy going the way it used to. You start to feel a little bit like a grown-up, even though you are not ready yet in certain points. Like, there are some people in their 30s, they are not ready to settle down yet. There are people in their 30s, they are not ready. They did not find their dream job yet. There are people in their 30s, they did not even settle down. They still living as a roommate with a friend to even start all over because they have a new business idea that they want to attack at that time. There are people in their 30s, they are still studying and they are not ready yet. So I have experience from my personal life and from friends that people are really different when they turn 30, but there are certain things that, yeah, it's really in general. I ask around in my friends circle, I ask around in my work colleague circle, and there are some small similar things that always came up where people were like, oh no, I don't do it anymore. I don't do it anymore. Why is it? I mean, do you guys can tell me why is it? Because up till now, I don't really understand why. I was thinking at the first time it was body change, but then I was like, I see on TikTok, on Facebook, certain trends going on, and then I'm like, no, maybe it's not the body, but maybe it's the mindset. I was like, and then I was like, yeah, but there are still students who are still doing the same thing when they're 30s. So I don't really can put it in the right category per se. So I was like, okay, just ask the question around and maybe you will have wonderful reviews with answers. Me personally, I became a mom with 30. So automatically I stopped. I was drinking before, I stopped it. I was smoking before, I stopped it. So my body automatically has a huge difference. So after giving birth to my second child in the 30s also, there are schedules that I started to make. I wasn't really that impulsive like I used to be. I mean, in my 20s, if my friends say, let's go party, I'm down. I didn't have any responsibility that much. I just have my university that I have to pass because I'm paying my tuition fees and they were very expensive. So that's the only thing that I had really in my mind: learning, having fun, maybe eating here and there, and that's it. I didn't really also have a schedule basically. I was going with the flow per se. And in my 30s, I have a calendar, I have a diary, I have a planner. Every single thing is organized so that I can manage the long distance relationship that I'm in. I can manage my 2 kids that I'm in. I can manage my work, and I can manage to take some times to enjoy my passion, what I'm doing now. So this is one thing that I realized that has changed in my life, and I think it has definitely to do that I gave birth to the kids, because it's not me anymore. I have a whole responsibility If I were alone on my 30, maybe I would be somehow flexible. But of course, I will be somehow flexible, but I probably would also put the focus on work, of course, because I'm also working. And my passion, of course, because I love to talk to you guys through my podcast and give you my perspective in certain things. So this would take a lot of time, and I will have some remaining time to have some fun with my friends and maybe go here and there, going out a little bit. But if you grow, as you develop ideas, as you put your mind and your focus into these ideas, your time is reduced automatically. So there was time when I was in my 20s and I was studying. I had some times, like in the exams period, I was in my studio apartment, I was learning. I wasn't focusing on going out. I wasn't focusing on friends. I was focusing to pass my exams. So I was also spending most of the time on my own at home, doing basically the things that a student do: eat, learn, watch TV, maybe clean the house a little bit, and that's it. So I wasn't really out. I'm in general not somebody who likes to go out anyway, if she's not forced to by her best friend, for example. But when I don't have to and I have exams, I'm very, 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 very strict in this, and I stay at home and I focus on things. Therefore, I didn't really realize a change that much in per se, just that I'm more organized now and I have more change, and I stopped drinking, I stopped smoking. Yeah, okay, there are some things that I changed. Yeah, but here are the 5 things. I will tell you guys some things that I heard from my friends, from my family members, from situation when I was talking to people. Were your 20s that bad, or what has changed from your 20s to your 30s? And a lot of people told me one of the things which was they don't rush the clock. Basically, a lot of people told me, yeah, you don't rush time when you are young, because you are young, you are free, you have fun, you take it by the minute. YOLO per se. That was my generation. We always say YOLO, you only live once, so enjoy what you have right now and party and everything. So it was really more a free spirit mindset, which of course influenced situation that happened on the way, which influenced decisions that happened on the way, positive or negatively. You had less stress. You didn't really felt like when you're 21, you don't really take off children and family. Some people have their whole face basically, and they don't really care and all these things. So it happens, of course, that you don't really put a plan together, except if you're a college student and you know what you study and you know how it will help you when you finish studying. So if you already know what you want to be or what you want to do afterwards, then it will be way much easier for you. But most of the students, they just take a course because they want to go to college, and they don't really focus on which certification they need to improve their lifestyle. Because most of them, after that, I rarely had the experience that somebody has really studied has really started working in what they studied. It's really funny to see, especially on my ladies' friends. I really see it a lot, that they had studied some things and then they really did not work on that direction. They studied like art and communication, but then they work as a HR specialist. So I'm like, it doesn't really fit. But well, hey, everybody who finds a job is somebody who finds a job that is happy where. If you find a job where you're happy in, good for you, go ahead. Yeah, that's actually one of the things that people keep on telling me. The other thing was they always say yes more than no. And this touched me because I realized that as soon as I turned 30 and I got my kids, I said really no a lot. I try to avoid to say the word no. I try to explain my way to a negative answer, but I'm not really pointing it straight as a straight shooter for my kids so that they understand why I want to give a negative answer. But at the same time, when things are stressful, I won't lie to you guys, when my child comes here, it's minus 20 degrees outside and she wants to wear her boots without socks, and I'm like, no, there's not another way to say it nicely than put your effing shoes on with socks. I don't want you to get sick, because when you get sick, the whole family gets sick, and everything gets delayed, and everything has to be and my time schedule, my plan has to be changed, and everything is going on the slow motion level just because you decided to go out without socks and then get a cold. So this is the kind of mindset that I have when I want to give a direct answer, but I try to avoid it often. I really try to avoid to say the word no, because I remember when I was younger, of course, I was still living by my parents, so I didn't have any bills to pay, any responsibility. They were very, very reduced. So I definitely would say yes when my friend called me a weekend for a party. I definitely would say yes when my friend called me after the party on a Monday for a brunch. I definitely would say yes when we want to make a road trip after we pass our exams. So the mindset changed. The mindset from yes to no has changed for me. And that has also changed from a friend of mine. That has also changed for a lot of friends of mine. That's why they put it in, when I asked them, they put it down there. And one of my friends' explanation was, when you're younger, you don't really have much responsibility and you don't really focus on the outcome. You just do what you like and you don't really care about how the outcome to other people is or how the outcome to yourself will be. You just do it for fun. So a yes come easier. And I was like, yeah, maybe she's right, because a yes came easier than now. I mean, I don't even really, we have all calendars, we have everything planned out. When do we really have time to think like children again? When was the last time, I'm going to just put it out there for you guys, when was the last time you were really behaving like a 20-year-old? I'm waiting. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. Exactly. In my case, it's been a while that I really was living like a 20-year-old, freely, without plan, just go with the flow, see how it works. Now, inflation is expensive. I will not go with the flow and spend tons of money when I know on the next day I need to pay that other bill, the light bill. No, inflation is expensive. This ton of fruits, I will not just use it in one day. If I want to do a smoothie every single day, I need to save my fruits correctly so that I still have enough for the next day. So I will try to be less a naysayer, basically. But I understand when a lot of people told me this. Another thing is also expanding our horizon. Yeah, when we were younger, it's not even in the 20s, even younger. When you were a child, you still had that fantasy mind, you still had that creative mind, you still had that boldness to try new things, to expand your horizon. But when you start to turn 30, I don't know why we put the switch on it. many people put the switch on it and just do the basic things. They go to work, they work for 8 to 10 hours, then they go either to the gym or to the grocery store, or they do their basic necessities, go to the doctor, something like this. Then they go back home, fix there something to eat, or order Uber, and then sit down on the couch and watch TV or scroll on the phone or read a book. And that's how the day of the week started. And that's how they continue. Expanding our horizons is maybe once in a year for 2 weeks when we're on holiday. Then maybe we take a trip to Mexico, to Cancun, or a trip to Europe, or a trip to Africa, or a trip to Asia, no matter where you have to go. And that's when we expand our horizon. We completely forget that we are human beings with creative sense. We are human beings that truly believe in creativity. And all the time, I always ask myself, how do I identify my path? How do I identify my path? Because becoming an adult is also part of being happy with yourself. Because somebody else cannot make you happy. You can get married on the next day, but as long as you don't find yourself, you are not confident with yourself, you are not happy yourself, as long as you don't have that, when the breakup comes, you are the first one who really start to have trust issue, who doesn't believe it, who lash out, basically, and who doesn't see things rationally or logically. Why? Because you have the self-doubt. You did not find yourself on the way of marriage. You don't need to find yourself 100%. That's not what I'm saying. But you need at least to know the way to it. And you need at least to know 50% of it. Meaning, what do you want in life? What is your path in life? What is important to you? How were you raised by your family? Which values do you take with you that is important for you in the future? Which situation have you lived during your 20s, your teens, that impact your creativity? A lot of people really don't think that way. And they put so much pressure when they enter in a relationship to the other partner. They put so much pressure in themselves when they don't find exactly what they want. And it ends up being a problem, because with 30s, most of people start also to have that kind of midlife crisis situation. And if there is nothing there that they can grab on, that they can have, they start to panic and make stupid decisions that they regret later. Like, for instance, a friend of mine, now she found herself after sitting down, after taking a break, after doing a lot of things, she found herself. But she told me, for instance, one of the things when I asked her, she told me expanding my horizon, finding myself is very important, because I didn't have that. I just rushed into my marriage. She told me that time, I just rushed into my marriage because I had the pressure from my parents, I had the pressure from friends. Everybody got married and I was the only one who wasn't married and everything. I loved my husband at that time, but I wasn't ready at that time. If we had like 1-2 years more, I probably would be easier. It would our journey would be easier. Because she got married with that pressure and she didn't know herself, she didn't find herself that easily. And then they start to have the worst first 2 years of marriage of their lives. Luckily for her and for him, of course, there were enough love there that they said, no, we want to work this out. They went to marriage therapy and they worked things out. And now she's the happiest lady ever. But it wasn't an easy path the way everybody else sees it, and then it wasn't the easy path the way she imagined it. And after asking her, she told me this, and I was like, yeah. And she's like, after she found herself, because the marriage counselor told her she needed to find herself in the marriage. First of all, find herself as a person herself, and find also herself as a wife. And she didn't have herself as a person completely, so she started to push it and give him the whole frustration and the whole nagging and the whole communication issues. She really sat down and started to find out what is important for her and what adulthood means to her and what she wants to do her life better. And that's what we always forget to do when we are young, because we are so blindsided from all this distraction outside, from all the parties, the drinks, the connections, social media, all this lavish lifestyle that we forget to focus mentally in ourselves, to expand our horizon, to know what we want to be, what we want to do, how we're going to reach it, and how important is it for us. So this one, it's also something that touched my heart, because I didn't realize it when I was married, but I realized it when I was in my relationship. And we didn't create a cause because we could work together on it. And right now we are still working together on it, even though now the challenge is more there because it's a long distance relationship, not that close. Luckily, everybody can find ways to work on themselves. Everybody can find ways to expand their horizon the good way. And the last but not least thing, when you are younger, it's easy for you to ask for help. Oh yes, when you're small, when you're a child, you need that help. Mommy, daddy are there. When you are a teenager, you have your friends, you ask for help, you ask for feedback. Sometimes you do your own due diligence, basically. So when you're in your 20s, you do the same thing. You are more into research when you have to. You have social media. If not, you just take, at our time, it was you just take the phone call and call your girl. Now it's probably you WhatsApp the person, or you send the person an Insta. You send a person Insta message, something like this. And in my 30s now, asking for help, I feel so bad sometimes to do it. Where I'm like, why? Sometimes it's not a bad thing to ask for help. Why did I feel ashamed sometimes to ask for help? And so many people told me this, and they couldn't tell me really the reason. They couldn't tell me the reason. I love to help, but me personally, asking for help, it's something very, very complicated, and I don't really know why. I really don't understand why. I am trying my best, honestly. When I'm with my friends or my families and everything, I'm a giver. If I cook for everybody. If I have something to volunteer, I will volunteer if I got the time for it. If I have money to give, I will give some. I will give some tithes, some alms. I will give as much as I can. But me, when I'm in situation, when I'm in problem, when I'm in sorrow, going out my comfort zone and asking for help, that's something that has changed my life significantly. And I don't know if it's because I was disappointed more a couple times when I asked for help, and since then I shut down. Maybe that's it. Or maybe because I have a slight perfectionism in my way of living, and if somebody don't do it exactly the way I want, I don't like to ask for help. this is also, or maybe it's a mix of both. It's really a mix of both. It's a mix of bad experiences and the importance of the rush and the importance for me of being perfect, and which is nonsense because nobody is perfect. Actually, it doesn't make sense at all. But it's always like, I don't know, like, it's, for example, you have a relationship, you know how you clean your kitchen, you know how you clean your bathroom, and then you let like your husband clean it, or your boyfriend clean it, and you're like, that's not how I clean it. Let it. I do it myself. That's the kind of situation I have if it's coming for asking for help. And I realize I'm not the only one. My circle, really, there are a lot of people in my circle who has that issue. And when I asked on social media, some social media friends, they also told me, yeah, they have issues in certain situations, like asking for money if they know they are tied to their friends, or asking for people who help them moving out and they didn't know what to do. And these are certain things where they were like, I don't know. This is really a huge advantage when you're in your 20s, because you don't care. In your 20s, you don't really care because you are young. You really don't care how the outcome will be. You really don't care what the people think about you that much. In your 30s, you start to put yourself in a niche, kinda, and then that's when your image start to count. Your value, your reputation start to be important. And that's when there's a sign of weakness there, most people, like me for instance, they feel like they are failing their reputation, they are failing their image, and it gives me some kind of little anxiety to go even there and to start and ask. But I must tell you, this is not a good thing, because you never know when you need help, and you never know when the person that wants to help you can save your life at the same time. So it's something that I'm working on myself, and I would advise anybody who has the same situation, please work on it. Because sometimes when you ask the right person for help, you will have so much back from what you asked in the earlier time. If you ask for a piece of sugar, the person maybe will give you a whole bag and will be happy to give it to you. So never underestimate your giving skills, and also never underestimate the receive your blessings. Basically, receive it. If you need help and you get that, receive your blessing, be grateful, and do it to somebody else the next time if you feel a little bit awkward doing it. So that's my point of view of these 5 things that the people told me that has changed in their life from the 20s to when they enter their 30s. And yeah, that's my comment. That was the 5 things that a lot of people told me that they would. That was the 5 things that a lot of people told me that that has changed in their life when they enter the 30s, or the 30s grown-up generation, basically. And I hope that you would take it from here. You will analyze your life, and you maybe make the adjustments in some little things, because in the end of the day, it doesn't help anybody to be 35, 36 and have regrets, because regrets are not a good thing, because they put you down. They don't let you grow. They don't let you be the best version of yourself. So if you see that these 5 things are something that really, really bothers you, and these 5 things is something that really came up very often in your life, then try to change it and make it better for yourself. Because you just have one life, like we all say, make the best out of it with no regrets. Alright guys, thank you so much for taking your time listening to my podcast. I'm so grateful for you, for everything that you guys do. I'm so grateful. Please share my podcast. Share. Take a clip, take a snip, share to somebody who needs that little boost. Share to somebody who never heard me before. Share to somebody who need that help. So please support your girl and share it and like, and of course leave a review. Click on the bonus content on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, and of course on Buzzsprout, on all that social media channels. Follow me. I will start, like I said, in a couple weeks. I will start a new episode in my bonus content, which is my daughter and me. We will talk about topics that are important in the current situation, and then she will talk her vision, her view as a teenager, and I will talk about my view as a grown-up, and we will have a conversation and see from there how you guys will like it. I hope you guys will like it. So we are working on it, and we will you guys gonna see it on the next bonus content. So therefore, thank you so much for taking your time. I wish you all a wonderful rest of the week. We see each other next week on the special day. Thank you so much, guys. I wish you all the best, and Natasha is out.